2 Megapops is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to get 2 million or more pops with a single tower. And today we're going to be finishing off the submarine tier 5s, going for the Energizer. The last one, or in the case the first one in the submarines, but for me it will be the last. And unlike the previous times where we used Brickle in order to buff our submarine, unfortunately the Energizer works very differently in comparison to the other two. We need to utilize all of its range if we're going to be able to do this challenge, but also as well give it enough tools and assets so that it may be able to get 2 million pops. Round 9, you're going to be able to afford Geraldo, place down the lovely man himself there, and we will be able to, well, buff the submarine with Geraldo, because Geraldo has lots of lovely important items which will help us out, especially Jerry's Fire, Sharpening Stone later on, because we will be unsubmerging the Energizer at some points just so that it's able to attack outside of its radius. This can be a very tricky round if you don't have it on strong and then switch to first at times. You need to prioritize the factor that you need to be able to get enough of these blues down so that hopefully they won't be able to pass along through. But round 9 requires a bit of micro-aim. There we go, that's much better. We don't have any more blues to deal with, and soon we will be having twin guns, which will increase our rate of fire by 2. 2 for the sub of 1. Airburst darts will be coming along very soon, which will increase our firepower even further than what we have at the moment. There we go, airburst darts, thank you very much, round end. After that we'll get advanced intel and then submersion support. One of the most useful 2 Megapop support towers that you could ever have down to provide that decamification on balloons which are normally camofied, which is annoying for some towers that doesn't have innate camera detection or doesn't have any camo detection support from, let's say, a radar scanner or Etienne's level 8 ability, not ability, but level 8 upgrade. Round 24, we have our first camo balloon. Sometimes this is the end of rounds if you are not prepared or well equipped with the knowledge of knowing that round 24 provides a different kind of balloon which enables most to not be able to target it. So beginners, be aware that on round 24 most towers cannot pop that first camo green. Now then, another problem we have in front of us, round 28. We'll go get for round 27 first, but this won't be much of a problem. Round 28 provides us with some lead balloons to deal with, and that means we're going to need a means to be able to pop it. Number 1, you can buff the submarine with an alchemist, or number 2, which I think is going to be a little bit better in this case, we're going to have ourselves a artillery. Now, why do I place it here of all places? Well, it just means that this submarine, when I'm submerged, you'll be able to attack over here. And then once we're done with it, we're going to be able to then put it towards somewhere in which we don't want it to attack. So this is why I put the artillery there, because of its dummy thick range here. Yes, I did just say dummy thick. Don't be too scared about it. It's just a saying. Dummy thick. And just like dummy thick, we provided those leads with the dummy thick shells. More camo balloons, but guess what? We have the perfect means of being able to pop camos. Firstly, it decamifies them upon impact and then attacks them, which is wonderful. One of the best anti-camo balloons, sorry, anti-camo towers that there are. I'd say that submersion support is one of the best means of decamifying balloons. Shimmer is another one, but sometimes that can be a little bit inconsistent. Ice Tower Top Path can be a little bit inconsistent as well because of its short range. Round 37, more leads. But speaking of decamifying, I think actually the Middle Path Ninja is probably the worst one because of the fact that it has to be able to attack in order to decamify balloons. So that is a disadvantage of it. So Can we do it? Yes, we can. We've got them with those dummy thick shells. And there we go. In update 39, the base damage of this has been increased from 1 to 2, which is a very nice hefty upgrade here, which also means that in combination with the hugely increased fire rate when it goes to middle path with pop and off, it means it essentially is an artillery battery ability permanent. Round 39, a bunch of balloons here and there. Round 40, we're going to be upgrading to Jerry's Fire and then getting Jerry's Fire. We're not going to upgrade in this round because then we can save a little bit of money. And there we go, actually. We got that, and yep, we're going to unsubmerge for a little bit. And then once you get... you actually do more damage against Moabs if you are unsubmerged. But it's just the fact of balloons themselves, you'll be able to do more damage against if you are submerged. But unsubmerged, you're better against Moabs. But then when we get Energizer, it's best to just leave it. Submerged, sorry. When the Moabs are within the radius of this thing. We have pulled all the stops for the next season. We have our Santa hats. The Moabs got the elf helmet. It's not elf helmets. Elf hats on. Every time we pop a balloon, snowflakes come out of it. It's just like the internet sometimes when they can't take an opinion well. Just a bunch of snowflakes. As you may reckon, we are going to be saving up for the Energizer now. We're not going to be putting down any other towers for the time being. Jerry can deal with leads, and the Bloontonium reactor can deal with purples. And also the Jerry's Fire is good against mobs as well. But then again, our airburst darts are good against them as well to a certain extent. But we really do have to be very careful because the mid-50s are going to be some of the most difficult rounds in this entire 2 Megapop scenario. Round 50 is here. Need to reapply Jerry's Fire. Gonna need to put you on strong so that you're always targeting the Moab here. Hopefully the Jerry's Fire. Can you deal with the lead balloons, please? By ourselves, we can't deal with the lead, but you can. There we go. Now that's going there. So many advantages of having the the mortar monkey there, just so that we can preemptively fire on anything that comes out spawn, which is good. And go back to submerge. So we're going to be going between submerge and strong for the next few rounds here. If there are Moabs, and we don't have the Energizer yet. The Energizer is good against Moabs, but it's not that good against Moabs. It's probably the worst one against Moabs, but definitely the strongest against ceramics. Like, there's no question or shadow of doubt that out of all 3 of the tier 5 submarines, that the tier 5 of top path is definitely the best against a huge number of balloons, and definitely ceramics from there. So I'm hoping we'll be able to go through this round, but I think yeah, there's a ceramic there, so... Oh dear, we're going to have to retry this and do our microing just a little bit better there. Try and play this just a little bit riskier by not popping these ceramics so that we can keep throwing these darts at the Moab class balloons, but we need to take a little bit of this gambit off of us by doing that, so... Yeah, pop those. We're going to need to... Yeah, we need to just... Are you serious? Our Jerry's Fire was perfectly placed so it couldn't target those yellow and greens. For goodness sakes. There we go. That's much better. Microing between submerged and strong is the key to beating this round with just this little bit of a setup. And I know logs is like the easiest map to get 2 Megapops on, but for me... I am far from the best of people when it comes to this game, so I cannot do it on a map like, I don't know, Dark Path, for example, or anything along those lines of utter ridiculousness, where I feel like it's just borderline paranoia in order to try and comprehend how said people are able to do such a thing. Yes, I'm looking at you, whoever has done this particular 2 Megapops on Dark Path, even though there's no water. Somebody is able to fathom out that there's water on it by melting the snow. And then people will be like, now we found it out. It's just so easy. How could anybody doubt us? It's so easy. How could you say it's hard? You're just dumb. It's so easy. That's how some people think on the internet. Anything that they spent like tens of thousands of hours in and then come across as like, oh, it's so easy to a new player. Honestly, your opinion is quite literally invalidated when you are starting with the factor that you're an expert at something and somebody else is not, and you have the audacity, the gall to say that they don't have an opinion on said things. And ceramic leaks there. Can we do it? I think we can, although there's a zebra. There was a zebra in there somewhere. But now we're in the clear because we've got all of these ceramics, which will give us the fuel that we need in order to do all of this in. There's the Moab. Let's just initially give it a little bit of damage. And then once we're done with that, then we'll hop into its submerged form where it now actually does more damage against it. But we keep microing this in order to try and get the absolute max amount of damage out of this behemoth. Our next task is to think about what we're going to be needing next. I am thinking of a glue storm, so that our Energizer are able to do much more damage against all these balloons. Think of it much. And also very ideal against Moab, since in update 39, it means that glue strikes and glue storms can stick to Moab class balloons regardless of a cross-pathing upgrade, rather than just always needing corrosive glue in order to stick to these Moab class balloons. And I couldn't really find anything Christmassy for the BFBs, so we go with pizzas because pizza is cool, pizza is delicious, pizza is love, pizza is life. And there goes down some of those. And yeah, dealt with that pretty simply actually. And regrows, unlike most scenarios, are a non-issue here. Once they enter the radius, they instantaneously die. Will the Energizer be enough to take down these fortified Moabs? I believe we are going to be able to do so. Yes. And Jerry's fire, come on now. Excellent. Round 63, a bunch of ceramics, absolutely no problem whatsoever for the Energizer. They just instantly melt as they go into the radius of this Energizer. Also going with the MIB so that this thing can damage leads, which means it can damage DDTs, which is excellent because we're going to need every little bit of resource from the Energizer that we can in order to be able to go through the scenario. And that includes the poppage, the potential poppage of DDTs. Stacking both primary mentoring and the Energizer together will mean that our glue storms will have a almost 100% uptime, which means at almost all times we will be having glue raining down from the heavens. Let me know what you think. I think the Santa hats and the elf hats, should be reversed. So the elf hats are being worn by the balloons, whereas the Santa hats are being worn by the Moabs, because obviously Santa, when it comes to the hierarchy of these things, is of a higher hierarchy than the elves are. The elves are all of the hard-working workers, while Santa is the main boss, and you do what the main boss tells you to do. So this is kind of like a role reversal when it comes to hierarchy in the Santa workshop order and stuff like that. So I'm probably thinking if I was to actually make a slight tweak to the game, I would say swap it so that the Moab class balloons are wearing the Santa hats and the balloon class, or the balloons themselves are wearing the elf hats. We have glue strike, which means we're going to be doing more damage against these while the glue is still on them, which is why we go down to Megapops so that the glue lasts that bit much longer. I don't know where I'm going with my words there, but it lasts that bit much longer, which means that we will be able to do more damage against the Moab class balloons. Obviously, it's not as good against like multiple like small balloons, but when it comes to like the larger balloons where each layer kind of stays on there for just a bit longer, then having middle path is very, very ideal, really, even though it doesn't look like they're slowed down by the glue strike itself. I think it's mainly these can only be slowed down by the Moab glue and relentless glue. But the issue with glue Storm and Relentless Glue is that both glues don't stack with each other on a Moe class balloon. So if you're trying to stick on a Moe class balloon, you're more than likely only ever going to get the glue storm effect and not able to put down the Relentless Glue effect, because Ninja Kiwi has enabled it so that both glues don't stack with one another. Like, it would be nice if you can have top path, middle path, and bottom path glues stack with one another, so that then glues are a more versatile thing in order to put down onto the field. I know it does it in battles too, where glues stack with one another, and to be honest, I can kind of see why, because of the fact that you only have 3 towers and a hero to begin with in those games. But I think it should really come over to this game as well. Something to consider for update 14 Ninja Kiwi, possibly, maybe. Okay, maybe I'm just trying to think too much into this, and I'm like, no, I'm never gonna get my dream wish come true. My wish list will never be fulfilled, and that is so that all the glues have a place to belong on a Moab class balloon at any single given point in time, rather than just one or the other. I think there is like a chart that shows like the priority of how glues are displayed on a blue, or what glues are in effect, depending on when they are summoned. So I actually think Relentless Glue comes before Glue Strike, but Glue Storm comes after Relentless Glue when it comes to the hierarchy of things. So you'll be able to put a Relentless Glue onto a Glue Strike Moa class balloon, but when it comes to Relentless Glue against Glue Storm will take priority over that. Maybe I'm wrong about that factor, but it's just something I looked up on the Balloons wiki, and I don't know, sometimes wikis can be wrong, but you may never know. Round 77 is done. Now round 78 with ceramics. There we go. We don't have an issue with them anyways, but it's just the fact that they are dealt with even more instantaneously if there's even such a thing that exists. Right. Reason why we have this dummy thick mortar here, so that we can fire against these over here in the first place, which will be very handy in the later rounds when doing just a little bit of initial damage against these behemoths. Right. Glue Strike again, and actually now we can do Glue Storm, which is brilliant. It'll mean we can just cover the entire screen with this, whatever this is, glue. I don't know what kind of substance it is, but we can deploy almost instantaneously after the storm stops, which is brilliant. There we go. Let's put it on strong. We're going to, we're going to need to actually constantly have this thing on submerged so that we can deal with all these regrowths, because the darts themselves are not going to be the regrow killers. It's the actual radiation from the Energizer itself that will kill them. But of course, thanks to the Glue Storm, we can actually do this now, which is brilliant. Absolutely marvelous. These fortified BFBs, you're a non-issue for me. You are all taking extra damage, which is brilliant. An excellent quality of life change. Now, what are we going to do with the rest of our money? I'm thinking of some balloon sabos in order to slow down the balloons, because we're not going to be able to slow them down with Relentless Glue because of the fact that Glue Storm always overrides Relentless Glue regardless, which means you spend a lot of money on a Relentless Glue which you cannot use. Annoying, isn't it? Okay, but while this is outside of a radius, we can attack using darts, so then once the center of it hits the ring of the Energizer here, we'll be able to do more damage using the submerged form. And then once it exits out of it, we'll go back to using darts. And this is the thing which we're going to need to use in order to actually defeat round 98, because you can't just have this as it is. You need to be able to micro between submerged and unsubmerged so that we're able to actually throw our darts when we really need to, which is, well, in these scenarios. Round 83, a bunch of super ceramics, including normal ones, regrow ones, and fortified ones. I think there's some camo ones in here as well, taking note. But we don't have to worry about that, little bub, because of two things. One this, and one that. Balloon Sabo number 1. Balloon Sabo number 2 being barraged by snowballs. Balloon Sabo number 3 down in this little bottom left corner here. And then soon we're going to have Balloon Sabo number 4 when we have enough money for it. I kept trying to press number 3 there and then realised that 3 is not assigned to anything yet. But it will be at some point with overclocks. We're going to be getting 2 overclocks so that our Energizer has 100% uptime at all times when it comes to the Energizer effect, because overclock in the tier 5 you get like about 60 to 65% uptime, but if you have 2 of them it means it can constantly be in effect, which is, like I said earlier, marvelous. 1 Sabo, 2 Sabo, 3 Sabo, and 4 Sabo. You have a Sabo, you have a Sabo, and you have a Sabo. Why are you not submerged? You can get popping straight away! And you have a Jerry's fire as well, so that you can deal the additional burning damage now that the other Jerry's fire couldn't have, because we were not at level 16. I should remember these levels up the bottom of my heart now, but I don't, because I am not what you call memorable when it comes to the different levels and what they provide on each of the heroes, even Geraldo. Although I do know that level 20 provides Paragon Power Totems. That is like the only one that I remember off the top of my head as a certainty from all of the times in which I've done the Paragon challenges and all that jazz on the channel, which are still some of my most favorite videos I've ever made, those ones to this date. Like, those are always going to be like some of the highlights of the channel itself when it comes to like videos that have done extremely well, both with recording them and uploading them, but also people's just reactions to them as well. We're now down to Moabs, and I've just found out another wish list I have when it comes to Balloons Tower Defense 6. I want Balloon Sabos and also Grand Saboteur so that it's global, and regardless if a... I don't know if you get pops. Regardless if a balloon goes down in layers, it still has the Balloon Sabo effect over. I don't see why Ninja Kiwi cannot implement that in. It will only ever produce good results. But then again, I could say that there will be other things that could be good results, but then others will be like, no, that's not good. So, if it's going to be a global ability, then make it a global ability. Don't just make it so it affects only the selected balloons at that selected given point in time, but then when we go down in layers, then they don't. Okay, we've got a bunch of fortified BFBs here. Put those down, lovely. I'm popping them, thank you very much. We're going to go from here. Backmost ones or from... Oh, I should just really have them submerged now since there's multiple targets in here. Balloon Sabo, Blue Storm. Keep on applying both of those. Yeah, we have a Balloon Sabo up, but yet there you go at normal speed, which is annoying. Change this, please, Ninja Kiwi. For update 40, even if there isn't going to be a update 39.3, which there should be, because Brickle's abilities are still, well, Brickle's naval tactics ability is still bugged if the water you do not place down in a map editor scenario is default water, meaning you start off with water and then place a lot of land down, rather than like if you place down, let's say, a means of being able to put down naval towers outside of the whole entire map in water vein. Well, that's the first ZMG popped, but that's just the beginning of our endeavors here, because not only do we have a damage limitation, but we also have a pierce limitation as well, even on a tower like Energizer, that you would assume that would have tons of pierce to its disposal. It really doesn't, and I think you have to go with middle path in order to actually try and get more pierce out of it, even though you don't really get that much more, but it is more when you consider 510 Then again, you get 520, which enables us to, by default, pop leads. But we can circumvent that by, well, putting down an MIB, putting down a Jerry's Fire, and all that jazz to try and circumvent his weakness of leads. Oh, dearie me, why do I have to explain everything in the game for you to see what's going on? Just kidding, I love all of you. Even those that hate me, I appreciate you. And your time here, even though you probably think that the video is boring because I talk for too much and I don't concentrate enough on the challenge itself. But as you can see, we are going through this. Blue Sabbath, why did you not affect those blue Moabs there, for goodness sakes? I know you were just popped when I, well, just before you were popped, I popped down the ability, but still, you should affect those Moabs. That is the whole point of having these down. I still don't know where you got those pops from, honestly. You should be completely obscured from being able to attack balloons. I don't get these logs if some of it you can actually pop through. And I've forgotten I should be unsubmerging at the beginning of the round so we can utilize the range of this dummy thick mortar monkey here with its dummy thick shells. You shall not pass round 89. Let's have them speed along through here. This will be able to deal with them all. The fortified Moabs, that is. Fortified BFBs still definitely do need some support on that matter. Let's go to Strong. Let's target these fortified BFBs. Now that they're back in range, go back to Submerge. Rinse and repeat. Actually, we can just put on Strong because our Jerry's Fire will be able to deal with these few super fortified ceramics. Moments later, I die because the fortified ceramic somehow managed to evade our attacks and be able to sneak along through. Oh dear. Stealth is definitely a factor in this game at times. I'm talking about you, Quincy, with pink balloons and your inaccuracy of them. Why, are you kidding me? Nothing gets past my bow. Yep, and nothing gets past the pink balloon as well either, but you don't see that balloon complaining. Right. And round 89 is now Dunzo. Yep, Dunzo. Put all this glue on the screen. And yep, any day now, we've done that. Lovely. Now DTs are going to be a bit of a thorn on our side, which means in the later rounds of like round 95, when PS is a big issue, we're going to have to be a little bit creative as to how we're going to be able to deal with them, because the PS of them are definitely going to be our biggest factor when it comes to trying. Oh my god, look at how slow you're going. These are leads, honestly. Look at how slow they're going here. Oh no. Okay, we're going to need to put some engineers down over in Twain over here. We cannot afford overclock, but we will be able to afford overclock very soon. And once we get it, means our Energizer is able to attack that bit more quickly, sends its rays out more quickly, something along those lines. Who knows, I'm not an expert at this game. I just play it because I love the game. And I think that should be the most important factor about playing a game, is to enjoy it, not to be a sweaty diehard at the game, pretending that you know everything. Because some people love to toot their horns at times when it comes to communities and stuff like that. Not just this community, but all communities in general. There are those who think they know it all. But then when you actually go and prove what's what within the game, then, yeah, some people are so dumbfounded. Some people still believe that you can sell Geraldo when he's at level 20, put down his Paragon totems, sell him, get him back up to level 20, and then people think that 2 more Paragon power totems will be there. People still believe that Geraldo does that. You cannot do that. His items do not replenish after the first time that you deploy him down in a single game. So stop commenting that about Geraldo in my Paragon videos. It cannot be done. You can test it for yourselves. Test it for yourselves. Try and prove me wrong. Wait, you can't prove me wrong because it doesn't work. If we have an Energizer down to the field, it will mean that we should be able to deal with these DETs just a bit more easily. Hopefully. That is in the plan anyways. Hopefully it's a big word there. Now they speed up. No, you don't. I have balloon sabos for the entirety of their existences. Thank you very much, because I've got all 4 that I require. Some people put down 5 actually. I do see why, because sometimes you do want that little bit of insurance knowing that you're always going to have 1 up at any given point in time. But 4 is definitely enough. Definitely enough to see you through, but 5 is definitely more optimal, so that, I don't know, you're able to have like 2 sabos any given point in time. Like one of them is about to disappear, and then also like there's also a factor that because balloons get popped and then balloon sabos does not affect the lower layers of a balloon itself, so therefore they're able to travel at normal speed despite the fact that the blue smoke is still active. Oh well. Me and my complaints are minuscule when it comes to other things in life, because this is not real life. This is a game about monkeys throwing darts at balloons, and some people taking the conversation just that way bit too seriously for what it actually is, and that is a game. Blue Storm. Well, people being passionate about it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being passionate about something that you love. It's when people get overly passionate that it overrides your common senses, and therefore you think that the game is more important than the player. Without the player, the game is a non-factor, because without players, games do not get played. And when games don't get played, it means that there's something that might be up. And when something might be up, that's not good. And when something's not good, then it's bad. And when it's bad, you turn to hate. And hate into, well, suffering. And other Yoda speeches in here and there, for goodness sakes. Okay, more of that, which is lovely. Thank you ever so much. Come on, come on, come on, come on, chameleon. I felt like I've always... Like, I did a test game with this to see if I can do this, and I managed to succeed. But I swear I had much more money up to this point, to the point where I can get 2 overclocks down, 2 energizers. I'm not modding to have multiple tier 5s off the same tower, thank you very much. Alright, get you all whittled down, thank you very much. I was hoping to overclock another ZMG down to BFBs, but let's just space them out. Blue Storms. Sabo again, overclock again. We need to put another engineer down at some point. Let's see. Yeah, let's put him over here actually. This is probably the best log actually on the track to hide balloons. Sorry, hide towers from the tractor where we don't get pops. A very ideal strategy for a very ideal scenario, which is all about getting as many pops with a single tower as possible. And obstacles can be very good. Like in most scenarios, you don't want obstacles, but in this scenario, you do actually want a scenario, a scenario where there are obstacles on the floor here. Or they're about to reach the end of a track here, and there's one that's still the COMG. Oh gosh, this might actually be a restart, to be honest. I think this is a restart. Yeah, I don't think we've got enough damage input left in order to try and drive these back. Like, I honestly think that we don't have it in us in order to try and do this. Especially now the fact we don't have any sabos nearby. Ugh, for goodness sakes, why aren't you a global effect, Sabo? The increased range might have a profound effect on here, so let's do that. Have some pickles, and have the invisibility potion, so that we, as the Energizer, are able to reach out to more balloons. Excuse me, how is this getting pops? Why, Engineer Monkey? How are you getting pops? The logs are barricading you from being able to attack. Oh my god, that is absolute ass. I think we're finally able to deal with this round, hopefully. Yes, the extended range was definitely pivotal towards our success there. But why are you attacking balloons? Look at all this red. You shouldn't be able to attack where there's red, but yet you're still able to attack in the red. Surely in the red means there's some kind of barrier or danger to it. But no, not in the rules of balloons. No, it could be an option, a red light. You may be able to abide by it, but at other times you probably think it's just an option. Speaking of option, we'll be able to deal with this round, because I don't think we can with what we have down at the moment. Can we please? DDTs are my main concern here. Let's put the other Sabo down just in case. Oh, Energizer. Sorry, our overclock has run out. Come. Oh, much better that time. And we even have some stragglers here. Namely, Regrow Leads again. It's always a Regrow Leads that decides to stay behind. Also, we can afford our second overclock now, which is lovely. Which means we can now have this down at all times. Round 96 is done. These rounds are taking so long, but I figure I might as well just skip most of the round because of the fact that we keep slowing down these balloons. Speaking of slow balloons, we have these to deal with. One ZOMG down. Deploy the Sabo as soon as it removes a layer, so that then you get a fresh Sabo effect on the newly spawned balloons on the track. No, goodness sakes, as soon as I activate, yeah, there we go, now, good. I'll be like, as soon as I activate it, it's going to be popped, so therefore it's not going to affect those ones. I don't mind about like ceramic because they'll be instantly taken care of, but it's these mowers which are the more concern about all of this. Okay, so that is the first one squashed. Now it's just to deal with the second one over here, which means we need our lovely... Okay, here we go. So hopefully we're still able to reach them with the darts up here. That's why the ninja's range up here is a little bit handy because of advanced intel. Alright, put you back on there, put that on there again. Sabo, thank you. Another glue storm. We should be able to deal with this round, actually. Yeah, we got it. We've got it. Yeah, nothing else required. That's pretty much the fortified balloons dealt with. Now it's just the rest of these, which I'm honestly more concerned about than the fortified ones. Even though the fortified ones in their own right are very, very dangerous. Alright. Sabo again. I hope we to reach some of those CMGs that are back there so I can try and get at least one more of them down. Otherwise, sometimes all that pierce for the exit of the map is going to be very, very dangerous. Sabo again. Overclock again. Keep on going, please. Sabo. It's those ZOMGs which are going to kill us, actually. It's not the ZOMGs themselves, but the insides and all that jazz. Come on now. Go strong, please. Need some of them whittled down into Moabs. Blue Storm again. Oh gosh, this is really intense now. But I'm worried still because both of these have 11k pops in total, which is not good. Very not good. And we have no more Sabos. Don't escape the map. Have you ever felt so annoyed by the placement of two towers that shouldn't get pops but do get pops otherwise because the obstacles in which they should be behind stops them from being able to throw projectiles, but they still do it anyways, still gets pops regardless? Oh, that's what happened here, and I decided, you know what, those engineer monkeys at the very back there were not worth it. If you wonder why I summoned the alchemist so late in the game, this is why. We nearly had 3k pops with this, and that's simply because of the fact that Blue Storm gives the alchemist so much more damage. Whenever a balloon is stuck with glue from the glue storm. So that's why this scene is out so late. If you didn't know already. Okay. This is going much better this time. There are no more CMGs on the screen. The only thing we've got left to handle is our own pierced cap here. And yeah, we still got the sharpening stone bug on the game after what, 6 updates with Geraldo? That was Ninja Kiwi not seeing that as a potential bug that could potentially cause an infinite loop of sharpening stones to appear throughout the entire game, having about 100 towers with sharpening stone. Like, when Geraldo was first introduced, sharpening stone didn't have a round cap, but now it does have a round cap. Okay, we just got these ceramics left, so that is absolutely fine. Let's turn auto start off actually, and let's just go through this. So now that Geraldo is level 20, we'll be able to put down 2 more creepy totem idols, whatever they're called. You know what I mean? I know I said it wrong, but you know what I mean. So what else can we do? Like, obviously put the overclock on this in preparation. So yeah, this is already at 6700. This is at this is at 8500. Let's just call it 9000 at the very most of stolen pops. Stolen valor! So what we're going to do at the end of round 99 is put down a spike storm, because I don't think we're going to be able to afford a first strike capability, because we've got 15,600 and then at 15,900. Yeah, we've got about 16,500 at the very most here that we need. So if we do get it, then we'll plop it down, but otherwise I think it's going to be a spike storm way of being able to inflict as much damage as possible onto the bad. Let's see, can we deal with these fortified deities? I'm going to say yes. Let's see what the game decides. Do that. Use the Sabo again. We haven't got as many deities this time, but they are increased when it comes to their toughness. So let's not allow any of them to escape. There's the last one there, and we're sorted. Okay. Can we put down... Oh, I think we might be able to put down a first strike here, actually, rather than a spike storm. But it's just a matter of trying to get through these rounds rather than these creepy idols wasting our time. Although I'd rather if they actually function than not functioned at all. Hold on. Let's go to first and then pop them normal. I didn't press that. Thank you very much. Well, isn't that just sweet? We can enhance ourselves here with just enough money on the board. Okay, so is there anything else I would like to put down? No. Just a affirmative no. I do not need to put anything else down. The only thing we can actually use is the glue storm, because sabos are useless at this given point in time because of the fact that we can't really use them. Okay, first up we have our first strike capability. Then what can we do? We can give it some instantaneous damage. That is 10,354. That's a little bit of a concern. A little bit of a concern, but still able to do all this. Okay, so let's submerge this now. So... oh yeah, I should have kept this thing submerged so that the ability comes back sooner. Like, that's something I should have actually considered there. Like, like the ability is only active when the submarine is submerged. So if you go first, then the status is not there anymore. So what about that? Okay, so we should not use that anymore, I believe. So I'm hoping we have enough pops in the tank. Oh, hello, hello. Hello, DDTs. How are you today? How's the family? How is everybody, actually? Everybody, go away now and let the Energizer do the work. Oh, gosh. This might actually be really close. Or, if I think I'm going to run out of pop potential here, then obviously I'm just going to do... I think Spike Storm could be a safer option here, because I think this is taking away too many pops here. Especially, I shouldn't have gotten twin guns as well, to be honest. Should not have gotten that. Now we're in a bit of a bind here. I should have also put down a Sabo right after that. Let's see, can we do it? Can we do it? That is the open question. Let's go. Oh, come. Let me go to submerge, please. Oh, gosh, this is so close. Yeah, we've got it. We got it all right. Boom! Put that out of its misery. And we have won. We definitely won. We definitely have won this scenario without a question or shadow of doubt. You see, we have 4,500 left to spare over, and that's like a minuscule taken off there. So thank you all so much for watching. That is a 2 Megapops with the Energizer at last. This is what I've been trying to do for a bit of time, but then Ninja Kiwi decided, hey, Blue Storm should affect all balloons on the screen, not just the little ones if you don't have corrosive glue. So thank you all so much for watching. I know this has been a very long video. I do apologize for that, but this is a very tedious 2 Megapops to do. It's not hard, I would say. It is a very tedious one. Lots of waiting around, lots of back and forth. These creepy idols were very helpful as well in the final stages. Like, if you can time it so that you can put down 2 of his idols down around 98, then when he goes to level 20 for around 99, then put 2 more down. Therefore, you have a maximum of 4 creepy idols. This won't be possible outside of a beginner map though, because of how Geraldo levels up. Although you probably will be able to do the calculations yourself if you know when and where to place Geraldo down, so that you're able to get Geraldo at level 19 around 98. Anyways, I'm waffling on too much here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm looking to do another 2 Megapops on this map very soon, with another really tedious tower that honestly I'm not looking forward to be honest. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everybody.